Hello everybody, welcome to the Old School Game Snob channel, and today we are going to be doing a little trade run of Laranite, very popular trade run, probably the most valuable commodity that you can buy and then sell in a single run. That being said, it is often sold out, and sellout delays can potentially inhibit the speed and value of this run. So I've started out on Aerial and I'm headed to the HMS Lathan. So this is the aerial moon in the Hurston system. And there are a few locations which sell Laranite. This is the aerial moon seems to be the best bet on paper because it has both the Lathan and the Bezdek locations where you can potentially buy Laranite from. That being said, because there are not that many places to buy Laranite, they can often be sold out by other traders. The Laranite production from the Lathan and the Bezdek is about 1,400 units per minute, and that is shared across all servers. So yeah, you know, this, like I said, that's the fastest producing time. There's actually another location on ArcCorp which can produce at 2,000 per minute, but it has a maximum storage of up to 50,000 units. Oops, better watch out for the lamppost. On the Bezdek and Lathan mining stations, what did I hit? What did I hit? So you might, once you get the hang of it, you'll be doing this a little bit faster than I'm kind of talking and flying here and doing neither very well. Boy, that's a nice little screenshot, isn't it? Screenshot thumbnail for this YouTube video, I think. Yes, I think so. That's pretty good. Just get the dramatic, oh shoot, watch out for that rock. Dramatic action, or dramatic sunset shot. Very nice, very nice. When landing your caterpillar on a moon or planet or whatever, be mindful that you land in such a way where you are able to get back up onto your platform, your cargo ramp, I guess it would be, your elevator. The reason I say this is that it has happened to me where I've landed a little bit crooked or on a rock or something like that, and when this platform lowers down I can jump off it no problem. And this moon has low gravity, but actually, as you can see, I may have already created this issue for myself. Now can I jump back on? Oh man, what have I done? So don't do that, right? You can land your caterpillar in such a way that you might not be able to get back on. And if you're loading up your caterpillar full of gear, full of trade supplies, you're definitely going to want to be able to get back on. I think I've just pooched myself here. So what I think I'm going to try to do here is pull out a vehicle that I can potentially jump off of, and then hop back onto. I believe there's a vehicle station here, so that might be a tip for you if you find yourself doing what I just did, just as I was telling you to watch out for it. You could potentially look for a vehicle which you could then pull out of the vehicle terminal if you're at one of those kinds of stations. And then you could potentially use the vehicle as a little bit of height leverage to get you up to where you're trying to get to. So that's what I'm actually going to try to do here. Call this the botched trade run example with a good lesson, because yeah, like I say, if you jump off, if you're in a hurry, you go running to the station, you load up your ship full of cargo, and I've done this, and then you realize you can't jump back onto your ship. Man, you're really out of luck. There's no real good way of getting back on your ship. I guess you could force a respawn and then take another ship out to your ship and hope that, you know, someone doesn't come along and blow it up, or the server doesn't crash or something to that effect. But yeah, not a good thing, not a great thing. Let me see. I'm just gonna yeah, I'm gonna hope this technique works, and then I'm gonna add this to this official guide of how to unpooch yourself once you've done something stupid. One thing that does seem to make a small difference in jumping is if you face up and then sprint jump, it seems to get you a tiny bit more height than just sort of jumping straight. I found that out the hard way, again, when I did this exact same thing, but was actually able to find my way back in. Luckily we're at a station here which has vehicles that I could potentially use as a height option to get back on the Caterpillar. But yeah, that's the silly thing is it looks like I've landed pretty straight, but because half of my Caterpillar is a little higher than the front half and the back half are a little higher, it's created this awkward sort of scenario. I'm not sure if, oops, yeah, that's right, I've got to actually park my, I don't know what I'm doing, I got to park my vehicle closer. Hopefully I can fit under and not ram into the geometry of my ship, because as probably most of you know, ship geometry can be very finicky. You gotta watch out that you don't bump into stuff even lightly, because you can sometimes get inexplicable explosions. Explosions that just don't seem to make sense on a level of physics, but nevertheless. Alright, I think this is going to be okay. This is going to be fine. Yeah, no worries. Great. Okay, so we're back. Now let's go and see if we can... How Mickey Mouse is that? Alright, well I guess if it works, right? And that's a beautiful, beautiful looking ship. Just love that ship. It's, yeah, something I thought looked so weird and awkward when I first, you know, before I had one, and then I got one and I flew it, the Drake Caterpillar, and it's nice to fly. It's fast, it's responsive for a big ship, and it's, yeah, surprisingly maneuverable. So habitation is never what we're looking for. You can save yourself time. This took me a while to figure out, but you can save yourself quite a bit of time by looking at the name on the... Oh, there's a guy in a Caterpillar. Or not a Caterpillar, but in a Cutlass. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he is scanning for... He's probably mining for minerals. It's probably a Cutlass Black with a rock miner. So if you look, you can see one of the buildings will be named Storage. So if you're fairly new to the game, that's how you find the building that you're looking for with the trade terminal in it. And it's pretty much universal. Maybe not 100%, but it's fairly constant that the building with the trade terminal is named Storage. So let's see if I can do this. Let's see if there's any available here. If not, I'll have to jump on maybe to the next station, or we can wait around. So yeah, we got some Laranite here, and max available stock is at 100 and... oh, hardly any. See, that's the problem, right? That's the problem with Laranite, is that other merchants are also buying it, and it's difficult to fill a full load, and if you're not filling your full load right away, well, you're losing time out on more potentially lucrative trades. So I'm going to purchase that Laranite, and let's just make a note of where we are at in the wallet. We can make a note and I'll check that out later. So I'm going to purchase that Laranite. For 176,000, and yeah, never do what I'm doing. I'm going to actually fly on to the next station on this planet of Ariel, and this is not advised if the server had recent 30k errors, if it's had a number of them. We've just had like that free fly event, which caused a lot more players to be playing the game, and consequently the server has been crashing a lot more. But that just ended, and the servers have been a lot more stable with the decreased player count, I guess you would say. So I've noticed that, yeah, it seems a lot better these days. Also, a little tip, sometimes if the US servers are not working very well, the EU servers can work quite a bit better, sometimes. And potentially the Australia servers in alternative cases. It has something to do maybe with the time of day and the number of people playing in the different server regions. And basically 30K errors, as I've discovered finally, occur when a server overloads from too much player playing. And in that case, what happens is that the servers eventually overload and they shut down and everybody gets disconnected, and there is not actually anything that you can do for that. That's a server-side issue that you can't fix. I have a couple of videos where I thought I had fixed the 30K error, but actually what I had solved to a degree is like some client crash issues. There are a few things you can do. Oh yeah, so I think I'm at the Lathan. Let's head to the Bez deck next. There are a few things you can do to reduce your client crash issues due to insufficient resources, like computer resources, memory and video card processing power and that sort of thing. But ultimately you can't solve the 30K crash. Yeah, like I say, a couple of my previous videos I thought I could, and the fixes mentioned in those previous videos are actually helpful for preventing your client from crashing, which can also be important, but it doesn't actually solve the 30K server crash, because yeah, that is a server side thing, cannot be affected by the client. When it occurs for everybody on the entire server.
Attention, engines overheating.
There we go. Come on, quantum drive. There we go. Yeah, so you probably won't want to do multiple pickup points, because, you know, the longer you're flying through space, the greater your chances of encountering a server crash. And yeah, then that there goes your entire load of cargo, which potentially means 3 hours, 4 hours, you know, depending on how quick you've traded and how well your trades have gone of trade time, right? So yeah, you don't want to risk those server crashes. And so consequently, short trade runs have you flying through space less, and consequently you also have less time of being 30K'd. Basically what you want is to have no cargo in your hold as much as possible, and then when you do have cargo in your hold, you want to have as little time with it in your hold that you possibly can to get it back to somewhere to sell it. And minimize that time when a 30K crash actually means something. But yeah, that being said, the servers feel a lot more stable ever since the free fly event ended, and so yeah. So yeah, for the point of this video, which like I say is sort of becoming a how not to do trading type video, and I might actually end up labeling it as such, because I've never actually had luck in trading Laranite, just because it is potentially the most lucrative trade run, but also at the same time the most difficult to accomplish, because everybody knows it's the most lucrative trade run, and so it's hard to fill up your cargo load with enough Laranite in an efficient amount of time. So yeah, you know what, I'm probably just going to call this video something like what not to trade, the best most valuable resource not to trade potentially, and how exactly not to do it. You know, because yeah, I've tried this one, you know, quite a few times now, hoping to have better luck at the buying points, but so far nay. And whilst on the topic of what not to do, never ever land on the mining platforms. Oh yeah, so it looks like there's actually potentially some other merchants waiting here, potentially for Laranite as well. But yeah, never ever land on one of the mining platforms, and the reason for that is that if your ship sits there for a few minutes, the mining station will gobble it up, It will dock that, it will store that, it will store your ship, rather, I should say, and you will never be able to get it back because the mining platform, station, area, whatever, thinks that your ship is too big to recover from this location.
Landing complete.
And so, yeah, you can land it on the
Launch complete.
mining landing pad, but you can't unland it. And yeah, consequently, if you do that and you fill your cargo, your hold full of cargo, which I have done a couple of times, I've lost like 1 million credits to this, yeah, your ship will get gobbled up, and that will be that. I've even done it where I thought, okay, that's fine, I'm just going to jump in and jump out, no problem. I'll be in and out before there's any sort of thing to worry about. And you know, something happens, right? Like a client crashes or something like that, and the server's still up, and I have a chance to recover my ship, but I landed it on a mining pad, and so it gets gobbled up, and there's no way to get it, to get your cargo back, right? So that's not good. Now, when you are landing on a station and there's other people around in particular, or pretty much always, you always want to put your ship back up. I'm pretty sure now that if your doors are closed, people can't get in. I think that's how it goes. I'm pretty sure. Either that, or if your engines are turned off, then people can't steal your ship. Which is good if your ship is full of cargo, especially. So yeah, turn off your engines and close your doors behind you. Watch that nobody sneaks onto your ship. And that's the protocol. So, like I say, storage, that's what we're looking for. Here's another guy taking off in his Cutlass. He might be doing mining runs, maybe. Probably is doing mining runs if he's in a Cutlass with the Grey Cat Rock. I'm going to do some videos on those pretty soon. Some Grey Cat Rock runs. But yeah, you guys seem to like the trade missions, so I thought I would look for some more trade routes and put some more together. And this was actually going to be one of them, but yeah, destination full. Okay, so we did manage to fill up the destination this time. That's not too bad. So I'm not sure exactly how much we're into this, like approximately 1.4 million maybe? I think the first was like, well, I'm not sure exactly how much AUC we've got, AUEC rather, that we've got invested into this. But yeah, we're going to find out how much all that's worth. I'll do the math a little bit later. But yeah, so now the problem is we've got 1.4 million in credits invested, and sitting in the cargo hold of this ship, we got a 30k now. Well, that's 1.4 million credits down the drain. Or, you know, anybody attacks the ship, or if anything goes wrong, that's a decent little load to lose, right? But we're also going to potentially make a pretty good profit on this, right? So risk reward, right? It would certainly be a lot less risky if it wasn't for 30k server crashes. If you just had to avoid other players, if you just had to not get blown up, it would certainly be a lot less risky than the 30k crashes. They are the major obstacle of the Star Citizen trader currently. But yeah, let's check this out, see where we get. We'll do the math in a minute. So what I'm going to do is, there's a number of places where we can sell this, but I think for me, I'm going to head to New Babbage, just because I know the way there, I know the way how to get to the trade terminal the quickest. And the other options include, what are the other options? Levski. We got Levski, we've got, no, not really. So Levski will purchase a total of 50,000 units, which is not all that many. And then the admin terminal on Dalamar will purchase 400,000 units, but they only regenerate at a unit rate of 60 per minute, so that's not very good. ArcCorp 18 will purchase 500,000 units and regenerate their demand at a rate of 5,000 units per minute, which is good, but I don't like landing at ArcCorp, so I'm going to avoid ArcCorp. Then there is... Where is there? Oh, we're being attacked. Oh god.
Shield is hit. Your starboard shield is hit.
Guess you gotta watch where you're going and
Online.
not look at the other things that would potentially be a trouble, hey? Oh yeah.
Quantum drive is now off.
So I think I'm going to head to Everest Harbor and quick. This is actually a fantastic video for what not to do and how not to do it. Game. Now, where is Everest Harbor? I don't know. What I'm going to actually do is pick up some speed here, decouple my drive, or decouple my maneuvering thrusters. That way as I pick up some speed, at least I will have the option to be a little bit harder to catch. See, that's what happens when you're alt-tabbed into another window. Some guy sneaks up and starts shooting you. Not the best. It's not the best at all. Yeah. Okay. So let's head to Microtech. Microtech. And you don't necessarily need to go to Microtech. You could potentially land somewhere else. But I've got a fast drive and a fast warp drive and Microtech's not too far away. And for me, it's better than landing at one of the other planets with a potentially slower landing process. Right on Microtech, the nice thing about it is you can basically land. Where are we now? Is you can basically land right near the trade terminal. So what you can then do is run right into the trading district in about like maybe 2 minutes, let's say. So I like trading at Microtech. Microtech also is able to purchase large quantities of things. So let's see here. Oh, here's the guy. Yep, that would have been us. A caterpillar at Bezdek. I never look at the chat, so I didn't even see that going on. I was too busy alt-tabbed. Anyway, we got away from that guy, so I think he was more bluster than bite. Oh, yeah. I don't actually know how you scroll up in chat. Can you scroll up? I'm not sure. But that is also the nice thing about the Caterpillar. And I had a viewer mention that the Carrack, for example, had a faster drive if you upgrade the drive within it. And that I'm going to have to test. But what you noticed is in the Caterpillar, I was able to spool and then calibrate the quantum drive really quite quickly. And that allowed us to get away. And that occasion is that we were able to plot a course and get the heck out of Dodge super quick. That being said, something like the Carrack, for me, seems to take about a minute or more to spool and power up the quantum drives. And so if you're being attacked in a Carrack, you're going to have a hard time trying to get away. Whereas the Drake Caterpillar for a large ship really spools quickly and and gets to its destination really quickly. And so yeah, it's great for that. I think we got some fire on board this ship. Not too sure. But yeah, as you can see, when you're running a top-level quantum drive, I believe it is the... Let's see, what is this quantum drive? I forget what the name of it's called here. Oh yeah. Quantum Pontes. Is that what I'm running? Did I not upgrade? I could have swore I upgraded my quantum drive. Pontes. I'm pretty sure that is not the best drive. Maybe I accidentally unupgraded this ship. I'm going to check that really quick. So we got the Drake Caterpillar, which comes with the Pontes drive by default, which is actually a pretty fast drive in and of itself. It's 188,000 kilometers a second, but the best drive is the TS-2, which is almost 210,000 kilometers a second. So that's actually not a huge difference, but you know, not a bad difference either. So yeah, that's the default drive that comes with the Drake Caterpillar, but you can upgrade that to the TS-2 for a price of 93,000 AUEC, and you can get that drive at, well, Microtech actually, a New Babbage, I believe at, what is it called, Omega Pro. You can also get it at Dumpers Depot at Port Olisar and Platinum Bay at Crew L5. Alright, so we are almost to Microtech now. That didn't take too long. But yeah, overall this is not an efficient trade run video that I'm doing here, but there are definitely some good, I think, lessons to learn if you are fairly new to trading on what not to do, because I think I've done it all so far. But if we make it all the way, it'll be kind of satisfying.
Drive is now off.
Alright, so the New Babbage will always be the different looking icon on the map. You got your triangles, you got your squares, you got your various other things, and the city towns are usually the ones that look a little different. So I don't seem to be able to jump directly to it, so what I'm probably going to need to do is plot a course, but most probably if I just jump to orbital marker 1, I'll probably just be able to head straight down to New Babbage. So I'm just going to jump to orbital marker 1. And for those of you who are new also to the game, in terms of navigating around planets, they will always have orbital markers. And these are to help you to jump to the other side of the planet, basically, to sides of the planet where you can't lock onto because they're obstructed. That's what the orbital markers are largely for, is to jump to a different point of the planet. So now you can see from OM1 position, I was unable to jump to New Babbage directly. So yeah, and the OM markers always also stay at the same location relative to the rotation of the planet, etc., etc. So if you find something, for example, like a spot you like under OM1, like a certain mountain range or something, that mountain range will always be in the exact location under OM1, even if the planet rotates around, you know, rotates on its orbit, rotates around and changes its orientation. You can always find the place where you wanted to go based on the orbital marker's location.
Drive is now
And so yeah, once you arrive at New Babbage, if that's where you've decided to sell your goods, what I like to do is I like to look for the space station, and that is always the big detached building across the pond. And I believe, where is it? No, is that it? No, it's kind of, yeah, okay, there it is. I think the one straight ahead there, as you can see it right under the mouse pointer cursor area, there's 2 tracks right in here that you can see a little better, kind of just above my nose. You can see there's 2 tracks. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. It's nighttime. Here we go, there it is. There's the 2 tracks right under my nose right now, and then just over there, right under my nose right now, is the space station. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the tracks You can just kind of follow my nose. You can see right underneath my nose, you can follow those 2 tracks above, and right where those tracks kind of come together as they get into the city, that's roughly where we're headed. So we're just headed to the kind of, oops, I guess I should turn on my quantum drive. Am I flying? Am I moving? There we go. I don't know if I'm moving or not. I got some fires though. I got some flashies going on. Probably from, well, certainly from that guy's attack attempt. Ah, guys, they love to play pirates in this game, which is cool. I give people who want to play pirate credit. I'll probably do it myself at some point. Although, you know, on a pure business sort of profit sense. Why am I not going forward? Oh, because I decoupled the drive. That's right. I took the coupling off my maneuvering jets there, and I was just sinking slowly to the ground. I thought that felt kind of weird. Yeah, don't decouple your maneuvering jets whilst in a planet's atmosphere. Especially not in a big ship. It's not the best. Again, another list of things not to do whilst trading. Right, we're really ticking off the boxes. So it's kind of hard to see now that we've sunk down a little bit, but what we're heading for is 4 domes, and they will be just kind of behind. Yeah, so if you can see on the top left of the screen right now, that's the spaceport, and you can see the tram tracks from the spaceport at the top left. You can almost not see it, it's kind of dark, like it's right up at the top left there. If you follow the tram tracks, you'll see they split into a sort of a fork around the middle point, and then what happens is they enter into the cities area, and it's, yeah, we're just going to try to get to where those 2 tram tracks sort of would theoretically end. We can't really see because I accidentally sunk us to the ground because I forgot to couple my drive. Flight systems overheated. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, don't do that. Man. It's gonna be a miracle if we make this trip. Basically done everything wrong. Yeah, in a future video, you can see how slowly this big ship is traveling through the atmosphere at 100 meters per second. So in a future video, I'm thinking to test a little theory out whereby what would happen if I had a little fighter ship, little transport ship on something like the Carrack, and I had a load of cargo in the Carrack and I had the fighter ship, you know, in the hangar bay. How far away can the trade ship be from the runabout ship, and that you can still buy and sell from the terminal? That's what I'm wondering. Could you be 20 kilometers away and still buy and sell from the trade terminal? Could you leave your ship parked in the atmosphere and do a quick run in your runabout down to the planet? That's my curiosity at the moment. So that is something that I'm going to be doing a video about in the very near future, and see exactly, yeah, just how far away your ship can be. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely took a difficult route to describe, but just behind this big tower here on our left, we're going to see 4 domes, and that is where we're headed. You can see them coming up right down below right now. There's 4 little kind of glowing round domes, roughly under my mouse cursor right now. And they're easy to find. Like I say, they're at the end of the tram tracks from the spaceport. So when you learn where the spaceport is, and that is the big building with the towers just on the top center of the screen right now, when you learn where the spaceport is, you can always follow those tram tracks back to the domes, to the 4 domes. And then what we're going to do is we're heading to the center dome, or rather we are going to park just out front of the center dome. We're going to want to park on the ice, most probably, it can be a little bit problematic landing a ship as big as the Caterpillar on the snow that leads up to the center building, but that is a vehicle terminal. And sometimes what I like to do if I'm trading to New Babbage is I like to take a vehicle out and just leave it parked on the ice, waiting for me to return, and then I can kind of park anywhere on the ice. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit far away. I can quickly hop into my vehicle and then quickly zoom to the surface entrance exit. So right now it doesn't look like we're that far away, but actually when you get on foot, it takes a couple minutes, right? And if you're trying to do efficient trade runs, you don't want to take, you know, a couple minutes just running up the hill, right? Because, you know, add 2 minutes of running time in two directions, and you got an extra 4 minutes onto your trade route, which could potentially drop your profits as much as 20 or 25%, depending. So yeah, it's good to land close as you can. Like I say, if I'm doing a one run over and over and over again, I like to pull out a vehicle and just have it sitting somewhere on the ice, waiting for me, because then I can, yeah, just super quickly jump out of my Caterpillar and super quickly jump into my vehicle, and then again super quickly I can buzz from location to location. And you can just basically leave your vehicle at your location. It also appears on your radar once you have it parked and waiting for you, so it just becomes even a little bit easier to pinpoint your location where you are, yeah, where you're trying to land. And sometimes, in particular on a New Babbage, is if you get windstorms, it can even take longer than a couple minutes to run up. So as you can see, not sure, maybe someone will time this on the video, but to get even as close as we were, all the way up to where we're going, I bet you it's going to take 1 or 2 full minutes just to get to that point. So yeah, landing close is good, and you are always further away on foot than you look like from the air. Quite a bit further, I've noticed, for the most part. But yeah, like I say, if you're yeah, actually, I think we do even have a little bit of wind resistance right now, because this is me, excuse me, this is me sprinting, and you can see how slow I'm traveling. So if you get a bit of weather on New Babbage, you can slow right down to a crawl speed. Making our way to Babbage. Trace on Laranite, unless we get a 30K on the plane. Maybe a little sleep. Nice. Yep, this is sprint right now. This is my sprint speed because of the wind resistance. I don't know how long that's been, but 250 meters in high winds, probably been a couple minutes now of warm ground. So yeah, just there's the vehicle terminal right there. If you're doing repeat routes to New Babbage, just pull one out, park it on the lake. It takes moments to enter your vehicle and zip right up to right about there. And then here's the surface entrance. And we're in. Now it is a straight shot to the elevator. If you're coming back, that's the way to the vehicle terminal. But otherwise, it's a straight shot to the elevator. And then we are headed to the only option, the Commons. And from here, we are headed to the Commons area, you'll know it because you'll see the people are running around and around and around. Just heading straight through, straight down this hallway to the plaza. When you see the factory sign, run straight underneath it. It's basically a straight shot from the elevators to our trade terminal, to the Trade and Development Division. That's where we're headed, right behind this globe. And finally, and luckily, we're about to execute our trade here. Full load of Laranite, sold for 1.748 million. So what would that put us at? We have to do a little bit of math here. A little bit of math. So that put us from, that was about a 275,000 credit load. So 200 and roughly 275,000, because we started at just below 150 million. I purposefully put my wallet to 150 million to test this trade run's value, and now we're up to 280,000. So that's a pretty darn decent trade run. I don't know how long that took, but regardless, you know, that's a pretty decent little trade run, even with all of our mishaps along the way. That was still a pretty good little profit. We're gonna have to actually do the math on that and see just how valuable it was. I dare say that if you work on this and the sort of the timing of it, like I definitely didn't do this as fast as was possible, but if you work on your if you work on the route, then you can, you know, obviously always find ways to tweak it to get a little bit more speed, etc., etc. So if you don't mind the high risk, high reward trade route, then yeah, this one might be for you. But yeah, if you don't have credits to burn, if you're worried about losing 1.4 million, then oh man, you could easily lose a whole heck of a lot of credits doing this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video in its rather imperfect presentation. Like I say, I think I'll label this as what not to do when doing trade runs, but luckily we made it, and yeah, that was pretty fun. Hope to see you guys in the next video.